So what's up, you guys? You're welcome to the Pop Culture Parrots. Please do not forget to like, to subscribe, to turn on your post notifications so you get notified each time that I post. So let's get right into it. So I think personally that I would title this chapter of Beyonce's career Disillusionment, because it seems people are getting disillusioned to the idea of Beyonce. They are getting more clarity. They are now starting to ask questions. And I think what kickstarted the whole agenda was Beyonce being named the greatest pop star of all time. And then when it came down to the numbers, there was a conflict because she went down all the way to number 7. But when it comes to being the greatest, quote unquote, she was number 1. So I think that's what started the whole idea. And now people are starting to ask questions. The right questions, maybe, but they are questions nonetheless. And the central theme of these questions is whether the star power of Beyonce was merely an illusion or propaganda, because people were starting to feel like the repute and the star power that she has is media created and media orchestrated, and it's just a function of the marketing, a function of what the tabloids are putting, a function of what the critics are saying about Beyonce, it's a function of what the Grammys have to say, the amount of awards they've given her, the repute that she has, what the celebrities, what they have to say about Beyonce, and how they basically worship Beyonce. People are starting to say that that is the basis of her star power, and not even on the strength of her music. Not even on the strength of her music. It got to a point where people were like, if you go on the street and you ask people to name 6, 7 Beyonce songs, they're going to go Single Ladies, Halo, and then it's silence after that. Maybe some would know Cuff It or Texas Hold'em, but basically it seems like there's an absence of hits in Beyonce's career. And it sparks questions like, how did you get this big? How did you get this reputable? Why is everyone on your D when there's an absence of hits in your catalog? There's an absence of recognizable songs in your catalog. There could never be an absence of talent, because that's one thing we could not take away from Beyonce, is the talent. But to be crowned things like the greatest pop star of all time, the biggest artist of the 21st century, amongst all other accolades, the most awarded artist in Grammy history, there has to be your music has to be recognizable, and not just your face, not just the images on the tabloids. And that was basically the whole discourse that has been going on. People are like, do people really know Bey like that? Or was she media created? Because she doesn't have the hits of Rihanna nor the stats of Taylor Swift, but somehow her name is always in this conversation, with both an absence of hits and an absence of statistics and numbers compared to the people that they put her against. Now, don't get me wrong, don't mistake my words to say that Beyonce's stats are not impressive, because that could not be farther from the truth, because indeed her stats are some of the most impressive, but impressive enough to keep her in the conversations where she's currently in is the issue. One user on Twitter referred to her as the most overhyped artist on earth. She's more known for her name than her songs. And that particular tweet garnered over 60,000 likes and over 3,000 reposts, and a lot of replies with people in agreement. Now, is Bey more known for her name than for her songs? Absolutely. But we're going to get into that, because another user said she's the Kardashian of music, famous for being famous while no one outside the US knows her songs. And again, this particular tweet garnered 87,000 likes and almost 4,000 reposts. And again, a lot of comments in agreement with the tweets. Like I was saying, is Bey more known for her name than her songs? Absolutely. Absolutely. The name Beyonce is more famous than the music of Beyonce or the songs of Beyonce. Like, literally everyone knows the name Beyonce, especially outside the US. They know the name Beyonce fine and good. But do they know the music or the songs of Beyonce? The simple answer for that is not as much as they know her name. Not nearly as much. So one of the pages in support of Bey put out a statement saying that Beyonce is one of the few artists mostly known for her albums and projects rather than her songs, which is a testament to her ability as an artist to create bodies of work rather than fleeting singles to get number one and break unimportant records. Now here's the thing. Two things can be true at the same time. Two things can absolutely be true at the same time. Is Beyonce an album artist? Yes, absolutely. She puts out a certain quality of work in her albums. She's more dedicated to creating bodies of work than creating singles. And that's a fact. So perhaps that's the reason, because the allegations have truth in them. Maybe they are being dragged to the extremes, but there is truth in them. But at the same time, we must also see the other side. That Bey is an album artist who is more focused on creating bodies. She said it in an interview that she's more dedicated to creating bodies of work than creating singles. And in the long run, that gets you a fan base. That gets you a fan base, not just people who listen to your music. That gets you an attachment with people. It makes you feel connected to the fans, or makes the fans feel connected to you. And that's why when she goes on tours, it sells out. So there are two sides of the argument, two completely valid arguments, two completely accurate arguments. But do let me know what you think on the subject in the comments section. But before we move on, let's just recognize a very important moment in pop culture, because 7 years ago today, Cardi B, Young M.A, Lil Kim, Lady Rage all attended Remy Ma's funeral for Nicki Minaj. And if you look at the screen right now, this was the picture that he put up. And they put Nicki's name in an obituary, basically saying that her career was dead, this and that. It was a very disdainful sight, to be fair. And now it's 2025, and Nicki has been named the biggest female rapper of the 21st century, has the highest grossing tour to her name, has the biggest first week sales for an album in two different decades. That's the 2010s with Pink Friday and the 2020s with Pink Friday 2. But apparently, that was the burial of Nicki. I'm just saying the irony of it all, because presently now everyone in this picture is, well, washed. Meanwhile, Nicki's breaking Spotify records while on a break. So she earned her biggest streaming day on January 10th with over 11.6 million streams. And earlier this week, she earned over 100 million split streams in 2025 alone, making her the first female rapper to do so. In just 10 days, she earned over 100 million streams. Insane. Meanwhile, her song Tap Out is continuing to reach streaming heights on Spotify, reaching its biggest streaming day almost every day, and continuing to break its own streaming records. And I think Nicki thrives so much when she's on a hiatus, when she's on a break. I feel so much good stuff's happen to her whenever she's not in the media. Because within the space of 24 hours, Jane Aiko has attached Nicki's Chun-Li to her Instagram story. And then tennis star Naomi Osaka attached Let Me Calm Down also to her Instagram story. And y'all are so rude. Y'all are so rude. And someone said she's going through it with her baby daddy. And when I tell you that, I laughed so hard, because why is that so real? Because Let Me Calm Down is just that song you listen to when your significant other gets on your nerves. And then Drake posted an old performance of him and Nicki on his IG story. And when I tell you that the Bobs remembered this man's sin, they remembered his sin. They were mentioning how he never acknowledges Nicki. He never says this about Nicki. He's always posted up with Nicki's ops. He's always posted up with Nicki. He just had his song with Lato come out recently. And the Barbs were so strict. The Barbs are so strict. They're like, no, stay over there. Stay over there, Champagne Papi. Stay over there. Anyways, a lot of blogs, and when I mean a lot of blogs and insiders have been saying that Rihanna is going to be featured on The Weeknd's upcoming album. And all that comes to my mind is, does Rihanna know this? Is Rihanna aware of this arrangement? But then again, Rihanna can be unpredictable. This might be a very random comeback. because just because she's Rihanna and she could be very random at times and choose to be random. And again, rumors were that the industry executives are really trying to push The Weeknd's album to take him back to his prime, to his artistic peak and all of that, yada yada yada. So this might be a possibility, but then again, I'll believe it when I see it. I'll believe it when I see it because, I mean, it's Rihanna. Other artists rumored to be female artists rumored to be featured on this album are Lana Del Rey, Rihanna, Ariana Grande, and Lady Gaga. And I absolutely love when The Weeknd and Lana Del Rey come together. I believe they make such beautiful music. And also Ariana Grande, like, they just work. They really just work. But that's about it for this video. Please don't forget to like, to subscribe, turn on your post notifications so you get notified each time that I post.